Hey everyone, I know it's been a while. The past couple weeks have been getting ready for TFCon, being at TFCon, and then recovering from TFCon and also Halloween. I was in Chicago for a while actually. I have a friend who lives out there, so I stayed a couple days with her and then went to the convention. And I've never done like a travel vlog before, so I thought I'd put something together real quick just for fun. A little bit of the things we did around Chicago and then the convention, and then I will show you the stuff I got at TFCon. I got into Chicago on Tuesday night, and then Wednesday we went to a mall, I don't know which one. Lots of fun little stores. They had this really cute pop-up Miniso store, just kind of smack dab in the middle. This was really cute, but they just had a bunch of these like cute collectibles, very Asian style collectible stores like this. The Miniso, there was a Pop Mart there, and then a bunch of others that I'm not familiar with, but I was surprised there were so many. There had to be like 4 or 5. I don't know how they're not putting each other out of business, because a lot of them were selling very similar things, but I loved going into all the stores. It was a lot of fun. In one of the stores, I found these guys. I haven't seen them in person before. These Ninja Turtles that are dressed in Halloween costumes, kind of made out of cardboard, and they're dressed as the villains. These are so cute. I loved that I could see them in person, and I totally would have bought them, but at this store they were $40 each, and I looked them up online and it looks like you can get them for around $25 regularly, so I didn't pick these up. But having seen them in person, I'm not big on statues or figurines that just don't move. I prefer the action figures, but these were really cute. I might pick them up. Then later that night, we went on a ghost tour. I love going on ghost tours. We had done another one before last time I went to Chicago to visit my friend. That one was like a walking around the city, like walking around downtown at night. And I liked that one way more than this one. We got to see a lot of the cool architecture. There's so much cool architecture in Chicago. It's really fun to look at. For this one, we went to the Lincoln Park Zoo, and you'll see this fuzzy picture I took of like the cityscape that we could see as you walked into the zoo. There isn't much more footage than that. Like, we were literally in the dark. There were no lights or anything. We couldn't really take any. My phone at least could not could not handle something that dark. My phone is really old. There were some cool stories about the Lincoln Park Zoo. This is a zoo that, as I understand, has always been free to the public. It's had a lot of murders. There was a suicide bridge that they called it. People kept jumping off this bridge, which I don't think exists anymore. And part of the zoo was built on a cemetery, so people have been seeing ghostly figures and such. It was a cute little tour. We didn't really get to go inside the zoo. I thought that was gonna be the main thing, that we were gonna go actually all around the zoo, and that didn't happen. So I'd give this tour like a 6 out of 10. It was fine. There were some fun stories, but definitely not my favorite ghost tour. On Thursday, my friend and I went to an American Writers Museum. There was supposed to be a horror exhibit, but I guess it was a tour, and when we went there, the person who does the tour wasn't working that day, which kind of sucked. And also, to be honest, this museum kind of sucked. Nothing was open. They had several exhibits that were closed. It was seriously just like 2 rooms. I kind of wanted my money back after paying the ticket. I don't recommend. But here's a picture of Braun at the museum. For Transformers conventions, it is tradition that we take Transformers and take some pictures. Braun was not happy with the museum, and neither was I. And I also have this picture here with him. This is my friend's cat. This cat was pretty much my roommate. I took one pillow and he took the other one. And he's normally a very fluffy boy, but he's still wearing his summer cut, which apparently, according to his parents, he loves. So since we were downtown, we decided that we'd just walk around. So I took a little bit of a video. The architecture is so fun in Chicago. Like, everything is really close together and very vertical. There's a lot of party roofs. There's lots of places with roof access in Chicago with lights and furniture on top of the buildings. There's a lot of new architecture next to old architecture. And there's lots of really old architecture with new stores inside. So you'll have this fancy building. There's a Target inside it. or like a Walgreens or something. It's very, it's a very interesting city. I really liked it. We happened to be really close to the Bean, so we walked over there. I didn't take any pictures because everybody there taking pictures of the Bean. Right next to it was this comic book shop. It's called Graham Cracker Comics. It was a really cute little comic book shop. Didn't take any pictures inside. I'm still getting used to like video vlogging, and I feel weird about filming people, and there was actually quite a few people inside. It was a pretty busy comic book shop. I liked it. I picked up a couple things. I'll probably show you guys later. It was crowded. A huge selection, very nice selection. I really like this store. Highly recommend if you're in Chicago, if you're down by the Bean, it's literally like across the street from the Bean. And then on Friday, I met up with my Transformer friends. Like a lot of conventions, I'm so used to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but TFCon really doesn't do anything on Friday. There maybe is like one panel at night or a class, and then you can get in line and pick up your badge. Usually we will spend Friday also being tourists. So I was then doing touristy stuff with my Transformer friends, and we went to the Brookfield Zoo, which is different from the Lincoln Park Zoo. According to the locals, Brookfield is the better zoo. Lincoln Park is the free one, but Brookfield is the better one. So we went and did the zoo, and it was great. 10 out of 10. Cannot recommend this zoo enough. Really cool enclosures, and because it was nice and cool outside, all the animals were out. I have never been so close to a snow leopard in my life. It was amazing. We found this cute little bear dressed as a bee, because there's like this bee theme with that zoo. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but here's the bee bear, and then I got a picture of Braun with the bee bear. But one of my favorite encounters was we were down with the sea lions, where you can like see below the tank, and nobody else was there but us. So we pulled out a bunch of Transformers and just set them up, and the sea lion just kept coming back and looking at them, and it was just really cute. He would stop and inspect them and then swim away and then come back. You can see it in this footage here. Here's my dumbass in the way. But it was just really cute. It was a lot of fun to watch. As I said, there were so many cool encounters where we just got to see the animals up really close, and the enclosures were just super nice, really easy to see the animals, and they were all out and doing stuff. Great zoo. I'd go again. And then this was, of course, Friday, and so we got back to the hotel, and the line was long. The line was really long. TFCon was busy this year. I think they were almost too big. They probably were too big for this particular venue, which makes me happy. Like, I want the Transformers conventions to be nice and full and busy, so they keep going. But we went down, and the line was super long, and it was leading outside, and it was cold. By then it was cold. It was dark, and it was cold, so we didn't want to wait in line outside, so we went back up to the hotel room, and we came back down 40 minutes or so before registration was scheduled to close. And we were still waiting in line for a while. Like, they were trying to push us through, but it was going slow. As someone, I have run conventions before. I've totally run nerd conventions before, so I was complaining a little bit. I was like, if I was in charge, like, I would get registration going through so fast because I know how to do it, you know? But we had fun just standing in line, and one of my favorite thing is about the Transformers conventions is that everybody there likes the same thing you do. So you can literally turn to like your right or your left to some stranger and just start talking about Transformers. So, you know, we just chit-chatted and got our badges, or not. We didn't get badges. They were just wristbands, like wristbands without a name or anything, just color-coded wristbands, which is another reason why I don't understand why registration went so slow. Like, it really should have gone faster. But yeah, that was our first night. We didn't do anything else, and we like hung out, and we found an Olive Garden because we were starving. And then we prepared for TFCon the next day. So now it's Saturday morning, and we got in line for the dealer's room about 40 minutes before it opened, and I thought we would be fine. I've never had a problem with the line to the dealer's room before, but we were clear out the door. We were outside, and the line was long. We were kind of freezing outside. It took a while to get in. And when we did finally get in, the place was just full. I've never been in such a full dealer's room, and it was like that all day long. There were places I couldn't get into. It was It was a little bit of a madhouse. I took some footage of it here. This is the area right when you go in, and it was pretty much the only safe area to go into. Every other place was just full, shoulder to shoulder. There were some rows I just couldn't even get into. I didn't even try. And it was like that for several hours, and they hadn't even let the general population in. This was just pre-reg. General admission wasn't allowed in the dealer's room until I think noon, and it was just crazy all day long. I tried to film some of the third-party figures here, but even then it was hard to film. There were just people in the way constantly. It was crazy. I've never been at a BotCon or a TFCon that was just this full. So I spent most of the day, I'd go in the dealer's room until I couldn't handle it anymore. And then I'd go up to our room and chill out for a little bit and then go back down. I didn't make it into any panels. I have the same complaint I have at every single Transformers convention. They don't do enough panels. There were some panels where there were huge lines for that too. And I just didn't even try to get into some of the panels. I know my friends got into a couple and some weren't as busy as others, but it was just so crazy. As someone who has run conventions, I know every room you book costs more money, but I think this convention was just so big that they really could have used an extra room, even if it was just like a viewing room. If they just played like the G1 cartoon all day long, it was at least somewhere else people could go, because it was literally just the dealer's room or a panel room, and there were too many people. I'm very happy for them that it was this popular, but it was so hard to find space. It was really overwhelming sometimes. This venue was not big enough for all the people. I really hope if they do it again, they get somewhere a little bit bigger. We really needed it. And this year, this was my very first time going to any room parties. It's very typical at Transformer conventions that people will put up flyers with their room numbers, and they will have little after hours shops where you can buy and trade and stuff. I had never done it before, so we decided we would visit a few, and it was really fun. We found some super good deals. There was one guy who was pouring drinks. You could get alcohol if you spent X amount of money. It was kind of funny. But I highly suggest doing it if you go to a Transformers convention and you've never done a room party. It can get a little crowded because it's just a little hotel room, and sometimes there's nobody there and sometimes there's a bunch of people there. But I had a lot of fun. If I go to another Transformers convention, I'm going to do a room party again. And that's how it was for TFCon. I didn't stay very long on Sunday. I had to catch my flight. But I did spend way, way more than I thought I would and bought way more Transformers than I expected. The last time I went to TFCon, I maybe got 2 or 3, but this time I went a little crazy. Here are the remains of the day.
It seems to taste fine. I would take some.
All these figures I will have to take out of the box to get them to fit in my bag. This isn't even all the things I bought. Here's a few more extra pictures. This is a Peach Riot figure I bought at Pop Mart with my friend Prowl. And this is Matthew Axelson and Michael Murphy. Alright, here we are at the spot you guys were probably the most interested in. I'm going to share my haul with you guys. First of all, this is what I picked up from the comic book store that I mentioned earlier. With this comic book store, they didn't do the thing where they stick the comics in the sleeves, which for some people that could be annoying. For me, I really liked it because I could flip through the comics and see what's inside it before I buy it. And that's the reason I got this one, because I really like horror and Halloween, and I really liked some of the art in this, so I got it because I could flip through it, see what it was about. And then I picked up, this is issue 2, for the 3rd Power Rangers Ninja Turtles crossover. I had the first one, I still haven't read it yet, but like 2003 Ninja Turtles on the cover, how can I pass that up? I had to get it. I think this one has the worst art of the 3, but still good. I mean, this isn't terrible art, it's just there's been better. But hopefully the story's good. The first 2 had really good stories. I think the second one is my favorite, both art-wise and story-wise. But I picked up the second one. It's on my giant pile of comics to read, which is right there. is my to read pile. There's a few things in there that I have read that I need to just put away, but mostly that's my to read pile. I also picked up this at TFCon, this particular poster, because you can always find something Ninja Turtles related at TFCon. So I picked up that poster. I thought the art was super cute. And now we will get to the other things I got at TFCon. I got some stickers. I can't find them. I don't know what happened to them, but I did get a few little stickers for fun. This is what they gave all the pre-reg, this blaster bag, this blaster tote. It's cute. It was great to carry all your haul in. So it was nice of them to give it to us because we all needed it. Here's something else I picked up in the Artist Alley part. They're just cute little postcards, and they even have stuff on the back, so it's totally a real postcard. I didn't spend a lot of time in the Artist Alley section because it was so crowded. It was so very, very crowded. It was hard to get in there. I also got a keychain, and I don't know what happened to that keychain either. I think I might have to dig through my bags and stuff again to try to find it. A lot of the little things seem to get lost. So we are just gonna go to my main bag. I stuck them all in this bag, which I got at a different convention, but this bag is full of Transformers, more than I ever thought I would get. Honestly, before going to TFCon, I kind of thought my Transformer buying days were over. The last time I went to a TFCon a couple years ago, I bought 2, maybe 3 figures. I just kind of went to hung out. I was not expecting everything that I managed to pick up. First, here's a lot of the weapons and everything, and there's 2 of the Blokies models in here. There was a vendor that pretty much had opened all the boxes, and so you knew what you were gonna get. They're the mid-sized ones. I'll open one up here so you can see. They come like this, with different pieces that you can put together. It takes a little time. I'm not gonna do one in on screen, putting it all together. Wait a minute. Just hold on here. Oh, I thought my stickers maybe were in here in my keychain, but I guess not. There is a pin. This is like a Grimlock pin one of my friends gave me. But yeah, there's this. I can't remember where this cat came from. I think my friend gave this to me. One of my other friends gave this cat to me. He like holds bread. But here's, you know, the miscellaneous stuff, the pieces of like weapons and everything, because it's very common with Transformers conventions. You have to unbox all your figures to get them in your bag and on the plane. So there was a lot of unboxing. But I have the 2 figures I have, the Blokies figures. I got Red Alert and Prowl, and here's pieces of them that I will put together off screen and then show you guys as soon as I put those together. I'm a little irritated. I can't find my keychain or my stickers. Maybe I'll find them in a bit. Here is this fancy Slipstream I got. She was loose, just like this. I think she only came out in Japan, so she was a little spendy. But she just really caught my eye, and at that point, I honestly thought maybe it was just her. I was gonna buy her, and I had one other figure. So I picked her up. It was just so hard. Like, I saw her and then I left, and then I decided I was going to get her, so I came back. But once again, it was so crowded. Like, it was so hard to even just get back to the booth. When I made it back to the booth, there was one guy ahead of me, and he was purchasing a bunch of stuff. So I was just sitting there, like, waiting for my turn. And then some guy behind me is, like, trying to push his way in because he wants to buy stuff, and it's like, I'm in line. Like, you can have your turn when I'm done. Like, don't you see that I'm right next to this dude? Like, I'm waiting for my turn. It was a little annoying. And then this vendor only took cash, so Like this guy that was trying to push ahead of me didn't even have cash, so he didn't buy it. It was just kind of rude. You know what I mean? But I got her and I walked off with her, and I thought maybe her and there was one more figure I bought before her, and I thought I thought that might be it, but I was very incorrect. Here's the Braun I took with me. I did not buy him. I had him for a while already. I really want, I've been wanting a Braun for a really long time, but I didn't want to pay, like, there were some good third-party Brauns, and I didn't want to pay those prices, but I got him like a couple years ago, whenever this studio series came out of the Braun, and I've been happy with him since. He's a great Braun. This is one of the last figures I picked up. I have a Prowl collection, so I like picking up Prowls. This one, I think I really paid way more than I should have. I looked him up online and I found him for way cheaper than what I paid for him, so I was a little irritated, but I do believe he is, maybe he's missing his weapons. He's mostly complete, I hope, but yeah, I paid way more than I should have, I think, for him. But I have another Prowl. I got this really cute RC. I don't even really like RC that much, but this was so cute. I got her for like $10 at one of the room parties, so I couldn't pass that up. $10, easy. She was new in the box. The box was a little trashed, so but I had, I had to take her out of the box so I could fit her in my luggage, and at the end, like I was like shoving Transformers in all the cracks, and then I picked up my bag and I was like shaking it to like get everything to settle so I could fit more stuff on top. It was it was a tight fit. Here is a Swoop I got. I also got him at a room party. There was one place where they were just selling everything for like $5. Because they just wanted to get rid of everything. So I got him for $5, and he just came as is. I don't have any instructions or anything, but we'll see. I can probably transform him. I'm sure I can figure it out. I've never owned a Swoop before. I thought I'd pick him up for $5. This RC was also $5, which I couldn't even believe. She is normally, like, brand new in the box. She's about $70. Once again, I'm not even really into RC like that, but I thought it was just cool to touch a figure like this because it's a little bit more expensive. But there's like an extra thing here that helps her transform all the way into the car, and it's missing. So, she's kind of display only, and she displays really well. I don't know if I'm going to keep her, though, or not. She came with some other weapons aside from this, which is really cool. I think it looks like she comes with 2, but I think she only had 1 with her. So she's definitely worth a little more than $5, but, she's incomplete and missing stuff. But she's pretty, she's pretty cool. Like, she's a little heavier. She's got some metal in her. She's kind of cool. I don't know what we'll do with her, but she was $5. I mean, I couldn't pass that up. And then I picked up this Red Alert also for $5. He was new in the box. $5. I had actually been eyeballing this figure. There were several from various booths in the dealer room, and I just kept eyeballing him over and over and over. Because I like Red Alert, and I thought this was a pretty good looking figure. And so when they're like $5 in the box, I was like, yeah, for sure. So I picked him up too. I got this Minerva for $15. She's cute, but also she might be like a project figure. But $15, like, I'd take that. And then I picked up this Chromia. She was also new in the box. She came with a comic book. They're in the comic book pile too. Here's this comic. I don't know where in the IDW storyline this takes place. It's been a long time since I read Transformer comics. I kind of gave up on IDW. Like, stuff was happening and I just didn't care anymore. So I stopped reading. I do read the Skybound ones. I'm a little behind, but I read the first trade and it was really good. So I bought the others. I have the 2 other trades, but I haven't read them yet. They're in my pile. I'll get to them. And so that's this Chromia. I've been wanting a really nice Chromia, and I like the way she looks. She still feels a little light and fiddly. I got her for a fairly decent price, new in box. And then I got another Prowl. This is the Combiner Prowl. He also came with the Combiner Wars Prowl. He also came with a comic book. And he was super easy to transform. Like, I was fiddling with him and he transformed really easy. So he's still in car mode. Because that's how I put him in my luggage. Great way to fit him. So Prowl number 2. And then I have Prowl number 3, which I paid for him at TFCon, but a friend of mine actually found him. This is part of a set of 3 with the 3 Datsuns, and they're a fairly expensive set, but she got them secondhand from a store for a really good price, and I bought the Prowl off her, and she kept the other 2. And he's a little bit smaller. Here, I'll show you with the red alert. See, like, he's a way smaller figure, but he's just super nice. He's really nice. I think he's my favorite Prowl of the 3 I bought. But, I like having all of them for my Prowl collection. It is getting extensive. And then lastly, I got another one of these Blokies. Or, they're not Blokies, it's Blockies. I call them Blokies. I don't know. That's just how I heard it in my head first. And then when I heard people say it out loud, it's like I can't overwrite it now. I don't know, but I got a little Thundercracker. He's 2 inches tall. These are just so cute. I can't get over how cute these are. There was a shattered glass Megatron that I saw that I also kind of wanted, but I didn't ever ask how much he was. He's probably a lot of these were just like $5, but I kind of wish I grabbed him too, because he was really cool looking. Like, he was just. Yeah, a lot of these were just out on display, so it was really nice that you could kind of pick and choose what you wanted instead of doing the blind boxes. I hate the blind boxes so much, and like, I just have the worst luck with blind boxes. So it's really nice when vendors open it up for you, and so you know exactly what you're getting. That's what I'm getting at with this. So that was pretty much everything I got at TFCon, except for these big boys. These are my main events. My fanciest, most expensive purchases at TFCon, and I am going to give them their own video where I will be unboxing both of them. So I hope you will tune in for that, and thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.